Yo, what's going on? It's my friend Justin, and today we're going to be talking finally about Season 12, and a number of you have asked and criticized me and said all sorts of things of many calibers, and the number one thing on everybody's mind since I have climbed to Grandmasters and nearly top 500 is, you said you were gonna decay, that you weren't going to play in those ranks. Why are you still playing in those ranks? Why are you still one-tricking? Blah, blah, blah. So there's all sorts of things. So this video is just going to be sort of a recap of the season, and I'm going to tell you guys the answer to those things that have been burning in the back of your brains. So we're just going to talk today, viewer to creator and idiot to creator. So let's get right into it. Why did I stay in Grandmasters? Why did I stay in Masters despite talking a lot of shit about it? Why did I not just decay? Why did I not throw? For some reason, you idiots out there said I should just throw to fucking decay out of it. That video that I made climbing as Brig, that was to spite this entire community. That video is more aimed at how fucking idiotic this community is and how they'll flip out as soon as balance even comes into the equation, no matter how necessary or unnecessary it is. I had a point, Brig was overpowered, and I proved that point. There is absolutely no disputing that. I went from 2400 or whatever the fuck I was at up to a season high of 4082. And I could have kept going too, but I will explain what happened later on in the video. So that was the point of that video. And in that video, I talked about how I thought that rank was stupid. And, playing like that wasn't really so fun at first. And a lot of you guys out there, like, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, I don't know if it's because you guys have, like, learning disabilities or you guys are just fucking stupid. Things in life are subject to change. That's how life works. I want you guys to imagine that if everything that you said was in stone forever, everything that you said was subject to never change. Wow, I really like my current job right now. I want to work here forever. And then in 50 years, you're still working at Pizza Hut because you loved it so much. Do you realize how fucking stupid that is? There's a number of reasons why I didn't decay out of that rank and why I didn't just throw to get out of that rank. We will start with the biggest reason, and that is that I like new and different things. If there's ever something that is outside of my shell, I naturally will gravitate towards it. It was a new experience. It was a learning experience. It was different, and it completely changed a lot of things, and I grew a lot from it as an Overwatch player, and I got a lot of good things out of it in the world of competitive gaming. So I said that those ranks weren't fun and that they weren't really feeling so good because I was, one, using a cheater character like Brig, who I still think needs to be removed from the game, and two, the higher I climbed, the more it became meta-driven, which we're going to get into all of this, but in comparison, in Platinum, there's like 10 different metas that are used in Platinum, and they may be used poorly, but there's still 10 different metas that are used. But up in the ranks that I am in, there are 2 different metas. There are only 2. It is Dive and it is Rein Zarya, and that's it. 100% of the times you will be on teams with those tanks, going against those tanks, and both teams will 100% of the time have an Ana. They'll have a Hanzo, they'll have a Tracer. It'll just be the same shit over and over and over again. Which, that's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not complaining about it or saying it in a way where it makes it seem like the game is terrible because of that. It makes the game very stale, and that's absolutely true, considering that there are 29 characters in the game almost, and that we only utilize like a fourth of them, barely. But something that is rewarding about playing like that is that although there is only 2 metas, they're played relatively good. Knowing what I know about the game now and being in the ranks that I've been in for so long now, I know now that Diamond is actually the stupidest rank out of all of them, and Lower Masters is just as stupid as Diamond is. It's people who go into those ranks and they have the idea of the meta, but they have no idea how to execute it, and then it's just a circle jerk over and over and over again. But thankfully, I was lucky enough to be able to play in Grandmaster games and top 500 games for the majority of the time that I played Season 12. So I got to have a lot of really, really rewarding games where it was just 2 teams that knew how to play characters and they would just duke it out. Granted, it was fucking Rein Zarya or Diva Winston every single time with an Ana, but still, it was fun. It was good teams, good teammates, and it was good shit. You also got to understand that everything that I did in Season 12 was all completely new to me. So I was taking it all in as it came to me. Which brings me to my second point, and that's that if I would have decayed out of the rank that I was in, or I would have went back to Platinum, or even Diamond, it is completely not fair for me to play with Platinum players anymore, or anybody lower than that. I said this earlier, I don't know if you guys have learning disabilities or if like you're just so used to doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again for the rest of your fucking lives until you die. I'm not. When I do things, I try to learn from it every single time. Now, apply what I just said to me being in a higher rank because I cheated with a cheater character. Just because I'm playing Brig doesn't mean that I'm not learning about positioning and other characters. And you guys have it so embedded into your minds that I only did Brig and that if there was no other option, I would just crumble and not know what to do. Yeah, maybe at first, maybe if Brig was locked at first, or maybe if we didn't really need a Brig or I wasn't doing anything, it would be pretty bad. Because I was new, I gravitate towards doing new things. So if Brig was taken or I found that me being Brig wasn't doing much for the team, I would switch it up. You know what's almost as easy as playing Brig? Playing main tank. Reinhardt is one of the easiest characters in the game, and my understanding is that I did the easiest thing that I could to climb to the rank that I wanted to climb to. So, you know, why not try the second easiest thing, which is Reinhardt? And I did fine with Reinhardt. He's a really easy character and I had a lot of fun with doing that. I had a lot of fun playing McCree, and while we're on this topic, I would just like to say too that really you don't even have to be good at this game. I still don't think that I'm good at this game, but what I will say is that if you know how to position yourself correctly, then you'll do fine. Just learn about where people are standing and what people are doing. You'll be good to go, and you just have to wait for somebody else to get out of position, then you kill them. It honestly is, that's what this game boils down to a majority of the time. Even being dope, like if you're in a good position and somebody dives you, the rest of your team is gonna fucking kill them. Like you don't even have to do anything in that situation. Back on topic, I played different characters. I did a lot of Brig, obviously, because I wanted to see how far I could really take it. But it doesn't mean that I was like, I would wake up every day and be like, all right, Brig, 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 Brig. Nah, dude. If I was losing with Brig, then I would switch to something else. I would do something that's good for the team. And that really shows that you guys would comment some dumb shit like that. It shows how dumb the community really fucking is and how embedded in your little tiny brains that not switching is. I'm the one trick guy, and even I fucking switch. But in your guys' minds, since I'm the big one trick guy, I don't ever switch because you probably don't switch yourselves. Fuck you guys. Now, another reason why I didn't just drop out of the stupid rank, we've established that I did eventually grow to think that it was fun because I did like the competitive spirit of it. We have determined that I learned a lot about the game and how to play other characters, and that positioning was a really big part of this game. So it wouldn't be fair for me to play with other platinum players who just kind of run into each other. Now it's time for me to determine what the real end goal was with me only doing Brig. The vast majority of my hours were Brig, and you guys wonder why I played so much Brig, despite me saying that I didn't enjoy it. I do think that Brig is a really stupid character. She is really dumbed down. She has no place in this game. She needs to be removed, but she is a character in the game nonetheless. And why would I not play my best character? I one-tricked that character and learned a ton about that character. Any idiot can play that character, but if you're not an idiot and you play that character, then you're gonna fucking dominate everybody. And that's exactly what I did. And what I wanted to do and what my goal was to be in the top 500, because then I could really tell you guys to eat my ass. But it just didn't quite work out like that. And the thing that had happened was, and I still kind of think somebody at Blizzard probably has it out for me, because there's no way that this coincidentally happened, especially considering that I haven't been disconnected once since this happened. There was one day that I was playing this game, and in one day I got disconnected 5 fucking times. Now, being the learning individual that I am, I learned quick that every time you're disconnected, you lose 50 SR for some reason. And I get it. I do think it's kind of necessary for people who leave or get disconnected to be punished, but there's definitely ways that this game can tell if somebody pressed the leave button or closed their game or if they were disconnected. That technology is as old as fucking 2007, and my ban was like 4 hours long by the end of all of it. And 5 times 50 is about 250 SR. So to be completely honest with you guys, the day that that happened, that made me so pissed off, and I was just so fucking negative. I was banned for 4 hours because my internet went out, which seriously, it hasn't been disconnected since then. I have really bad internet and it sucks, but you know, it's weird that it all happened in one day, like fucking simultaneously, one after another just kept happening. I even took breaks in between because I had to, because I was banned. Seriously, dude, I think Jeff Kaplan, being the fucking cuck that he is, he probably sent his boys to come see me. After everything was said and done, I had the worst possible taste in my mouth ever. I did not want anything to fucking do with lollygagging anymore or fucking any kind of bullshit. So I started to take the game incredibly seriously, and I just was no longer having fun with it. And I think that that's what really threw me off the most. I lost 250 SR, and a huge problem with Overwatch as a whole, and I don't know why Overwatch is still like this, is that people are not punished for throwing or win trading. For those of you who haven't played Grandmaster games or haven't been in higher masters, let me tell you exactly how it is. Half your games will be well-fought games. The other half will be which team has a thrower and which team doesn't. That's all that fucking rank is. I'm very appreciative of having those really fun games that I had, but man, I tell you, every time somebody would intentionally throw, and I'm not saying like this was like a salty thing, I was very much feeling the negativity still, like up until the end of this season from my disconnects, but I would never fucking report somebody for doing bad because that doesn't make sense. Reporting someone for being bad doesn't change anything. However, there are people, and I don't know why there is so much of them in those ranks, who their sole purpose is to throw and ruin the game for fucking everyone. And I just don't get it. I had an experience on that game, and I wish I had fucking footage of this, dude, but I had a thrower, a guy who was legitimately playing just to throw, not once, not twice, but 3 times in a fucking row. The first game, I had just met the guy, so I didn't know he was gonna throw, and he threw. He was like doing Torb only or some stupid shit like that. And he was doing dumb shit. He wasn't doing Torb only in like a way where like, hey, we're gonna win this. He was doing Torb, like putting turrets in spawn, other fucking stupid shit. So naturally, I reported him and avoided him. And while this person was on my avoid list, I searched for another game. And before that game, I was so pissed off. I literally was like, you know what? I fucking dare you to queue again. I have you avoided, and I will fucking destroy you, dude. You'd never guess that even though this person was on my avoid list, I searched for a game and he ended up on my team. Now, I don't know if it's because nobody plays Overwatch anymore or if because the fucking developers are stupid, but that is bullshit. I literally got him on my team again. He threw again, and then I searched again and got him a fucking 3rd time, and he threw yet again. Now, are you guys starting to understand the pattern of all this? You have 4 good games and then 4 fucking awful ones with throwers, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And I'd also like to specify too that this is such a big and important point. I've probably had well over 100 people throw games that I have played. I reported them every single time, and I would say, hey, they were on my team. They were intentionally trying to do gameplay sabotage. They would choose characters or lock characters that would be important, and then they would do nothing with them intentionally. They would stand and spawn. They would go and feed. You know, they're doing this on purpose. These people would never, ever be penalized. I would never get a confirmation saying that they were banned. Not fucking once. And it's weird too, because there was a really big stint where people seem to get banned for anything. I really don't think anybody's being banned for anything anymore. I got called the N-word by somebody who was on my team right before they left to throw the game, okay? They literally said, I don't play with N-words like you, and then they left, and then we lost. I reported that person. Not just for saying the no-no word, but for leaving the game and throwing. Both of those things were pretty obnoxious, and that person was never banned. But don't worry, guys, I've been fucking chat banned before for making fun of some retard who made fun of me. I'm a bad person. But that guy who called me the N-word and left the game and competitive and high masters, he's fine. He didn't deserve it. He was just confused. So I lost 250 SR from disconnects all in one day. That was very hard to recover from, and I never did. You add into the fact that every other game has a thrower. You add into the fact that Diamond and lower masters fucking sucks anyways. And you can also factor in this. I've touched on this before in the past in different videos, but if you're in Grandmasters, like when I was in Grandmasters, the only games I would ever get were with fucking diamonds, which is ridiculous. If a GM can't queue with somebody who is in diamond, then a diamond should never, ever, ever see that fucking logo ever in any game. So it's kind of odd, especially like, this is another weird story. One time I was playing at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is like the peak hour. You know, that plenty of people are on at 3 p.m. on the West Coast. I was at 39.75. I needed one game to goddamn get back into GM, and I queued, and for some reason, okay, I was the only fucking Grandmaster in a game full of diamonds and people who weren't even ranked. That's unacceptable. That does not make any sense. So it's just a lot of dumb shit that really made the end goal of me wanting to get to top 500 and the whole point of me, you know, really grinding out. It made it all for nothing, and it kind of just fucking ruined all of it. And I got really negative too because I wasn't having fun anymore. But that season's over now, and it's a new season. And, you know, I learned a great deal of things. I told you guys why I stayed in the rank. It wasn't just me one-tricking Brig. I learned a bunch of stuff. You guys want me to admit it? It was fun. At first, it didn't seem like a whole lot of fun, but when you get into these games where there's no funny business, there's no throwers, there's no fucking people just abusing bullshit moves or bullshit characters like Doomfist, Brig, or any of that dumb shit, games like that exist. And when you are in those high masters, GM, top 500 games that I have played before, it is so fun. It was like, seriously, that is like that is what Overwatch should be. And I wish that every game was like that. But unfortunately, because we have throwers and all this other bullshit and they penalize the wrong people, the ranking system doesn't fucking work. The avoid players list doesn't fucking work. Stuff like that brings a lot of negativity to this game. But the positive stuff always outweighs the negative stuff. Positive anything is always better than negative nothing. And the season's over. I can't go back at this point. Maybe I'll just lose a bunch of games naturally and I will end up back in platinum if that's really what it's meant to be. Or maybe I won't. But last season, I got really burnt out and really negative because I knew the potential was there to be in the top 500 and I was really dead set on it. And I got so dead set on it that I just couldn't do it anymore because I was so like blinded by my own vision. But with this season, I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to ride it out and, you know, stuff changes and it was a lot of fun and it was very life-changing. It was fun to go against streamers and pro players. I loved it. I loved it with all of my being. It made me feel happy to be a part of this community. Anyways, I just thought that you guys would be dying for an explanation and there's your explanation. As always, I'm Justin, you're motherfucking not. Like the video if you enjoyed. Smash a motherfucking like on it. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
Oh, champ.
GG, love you guys.
Love you too.